Yes, the boys, welcome back to another video. Q&A number 2. I said these are going to be coming weekly and we're sticking with that. So I got some good questions. Question box, you can fire away on my YouTube comments or hit me on Instagram. I'll always put the little box there, so make sure you follow me, Lukewhitneycoach. And it is an exciting time, boys, because tonight is the night before I fly to Dubai. So I am going to be editing this on the plane and I will be there for 4 full weeks. So work as normal, coaching the boys as normal, training out of Banus, which I'm very, very excited for. So if you've got any questions about what that's like, what Dubai is like, obviously put them in the comments for next week and I'll break them all down there. Make sure you're following me on IG because I'll cover them there. So let's get straight to it. So we'll start with the YouTube from last week. Got a couple of comments there, so I appreciate anybody who watched that one. So, what split would you recommend for somebody who is a beginner, less than a year's training? So, what I would do here in this situation, it depends how many times a week you can train, the same as normal, right? If you are a beginner, get my words out, you want to be learning the just skill of training, so not really putting too much pressure on yourself. I'd still run with a pretty basic split. Something like push-pull legs I think is great, an upper-lower or push-pull legs, because I wouldn't really go with single body parts. That form's probably going to break down quickly and you're probably going to be really, really sore. Like if you smash just chest, you're probably going to be ridiculously sore. So if you do upper and say you've got one for shoulders, one for chest, one for back, a couple for arms, you know, that's a good group to get nailed, right? So say upper lower works really, really well. Or you could say just push pull legs and run that on. Say it was 5 times a week, a nice push pull legs upper lower would be great. Or if you did up, yeah, that would work really well. Anything like that where you're not doing a ton of volume per muscle group, I would go for first. If somebody was skinny fat, would you recommend a small cut first or a bulk? Does it depend on what the body fat percentage is to begin with? So for the majority of people, right, diet down first before you begin a gaining phase. I don't care what anybody says. I've coached dozens and dozens of lads now who are all in the same position. The one thing that is going to stop a gaining phase early is too much body fat. I promise you, I've been there and I've coached people there who insist that that's what they need to do. I just don't. I say, look, this is what you have to do nowadays. I'm very, very strict with it. You are just adding body fat on top of body fat, right? I promise you that. Unless you're in a position where food is very low and you've got that body fat and you're building those calories up to then diet down, I promise you, diet down first, get yourself in a good position to grow. I've just had my client Phil, he won't mind me saying this, he might even be watching this. He was by no means carrying a lot of body fat. We still pulled him down. So he started at 76 kilo, pulled him down to 72, and he's now pushed up to 86 kilo over a year. Built a ton of tissue. If I pushed him from that 76 mark, he wouldn't be the same 86 as he is now. So the one thing that's gonna stop that gaining phase early is too much body fat. Remember that. Pull down first, get nice and responsive to food, push up from there, be in a good position where body fat is lower and you've got that long runway. Don't start with a runway of this. You want a runway of this. That's why you might see me pull down, tidy up a little bit and then push on. But you know, you do want to obviously stay in that gaining phase for a long time to make changes. So you need that there. And how much protein would you recommend to consume during a cut? So it's gonna depend on the person. It's gonna depend how much, pretty much lean body mass you've got. For most people, a gram per pound of body weight is great. So if I'm 180 pounds, 180 grams works fantastic. That's gonna work with most people, right? If you were obese, you're not gonna need that because that's not all lean body mass, right? So you'd pull that down a little bit, but go with that rule generally. How to mentally deal with training. Never done steroids, but watching them get twice as big in no time. So look, like, just do not compare yourself to other people. I say about this all the time. What is the point comparing to other people? If they're on steroids, they're on steroids, right? If they're going to compete, fantastic, support them, brilliant. If they're going to make a business out of it, fantastic. But if they're not doing that properly, you know, don't see it as all sunshine and rainbows when they are on steroids. There's plenty of health. I'm not against steroid use. If you want to do that, that's absolutely fine. I love bodybuilding, it's just not for me. There's plenty negatives that are going to come with that, right? So you never know, they might envy you for being natural in 2 years time when they would think, why did I do that? Look at my blood work. So, you know, you have to think that just stay in your own lane. That's all I've ever done. Stay in my own lane, just set your own goals and drill them. You'll only be worrying about what other people are doing when you're not doing what you need to do. If you do what you're supposed to be doing, you will not worry about what anyone else is doing. I used to spend way too much time looking what other people are doing, this physique, that business, this business. All I do now, make sure my business is on point, make sure I tick my own physique goals. That is all you can control. Control the controllables. So let's go off Instagram now. They were all off YouTube, so thank you for that. And if you are watching, you have watched as well, make sure you subscribe because it massively helps me out, boys. And drop it a like and a comment as well. Obviously leave your questions here, especially if you're interested with Dubai. So what are my thoughts on refeeds? So refeeds are something that I will implement with clients if they've been dieting for a long time, just for a bit of a mental break and just to give them that last little bit of a boost. If we've got, you know, if we've not got a set time scale we need to be done by, and I'm not going to say, right, just dig through to that point. If we've got however long we need, I might give them a little refeed just to keep them spurring on and fill that energy tank back up, fill glycogen stores back up. If a client is very, very lean and they've had a big drop and performance is dropping and they need it, a refeed can be very, very good. And a lot of the times you'll actually find that scale weight will drop, right? So it's very, very often that because that body just kind of needs it, you'll actually get a drop the next day, which is always mad and it's always crazy, but that is the case a lot of the times. So when they are needed, if my usual is, if we've had a big drop in scale weight, if that body fat is low enough to where they can actually utilize it and we don't need to keep digging, to keep that performance high. You know, remember, it's not just a dieting contest. That performance, that work in the gym is going to hold the muscle, right? So it's very important. If you need to refuel that and you've actually earned that, to have that in, that's fine. So it is something that I use with clients. If someone's metabolism is in the ground, how to get them in a good position to start a fat loss phase. So this is something I had to do with Connor. If Connor is watching this, he started at 106 kilo, came to me at 84 kilo, and he's now 68 kilo. So that is the definition of a successful fat loss phase. He came to me at around 1,800, 1,900 calories. I said, look, Connor, with where we need to go, I knew, right, we need to be at that 70 kilo mark-ish, right? So we have to get in a better position to then begin phase 2 of this diet phase. So what I actually did was just slowly added in 25 carb, up to 2,500 calories a week, and over a week I added that 25 carb in, up to 2,500 calories. He actually lost weight along that time because he hadn't been feeding himself enough. So when you put that food back in and you actually get everything revved up, you get training properly, you get actually training like an animal and utilizing that food. Again, remember that food is fuel, so use it when it's needed. We pushed him up to 2.5, got him settled there. He was losing weight. We then spent a few weeks there and then we pulled that food back down, got back down to around 2,000 calories, and he was 68 kilo, looked fantastic. If you want to see what Connor's done, check out my Instagram because I'll be posting that this week. He's done absolutely ridiculously well. So well. But that's a great question. Can't progress my dumbbell press the last couple of months, even though I have control. Any tips? So number one, make sure you do genuinely have full control, right? Like, have you got control of every single inch? I mean, from the top, control of every single inch into that length and range and drive through. So literally think about, what are we trying to do? Even though it's a dumbbell and it's easy for that ego to take over, I've been there and done it. We're trying to fully lengthen the pec and we're trying to drive through and get it short. So literally control, get that pec lengthened and drive through. Drop the ego, make sure you have got full control of every single inch, because if you have, I guarantee you will be way less likely to stall. Do we need more food? Is volume too high? Are you taking long enough between your sets? Are you doing too many feeder sets, too much volume before? Those little things like that. Do you need to switch it out? Have you had a dumbbell press in for 6 months and you need to transfer over to a machine press? Are you longer into a diet phase and that stability is a bit of an issue? Do we need to switch out for a Smith machine, for a flat machine? You know, there's plenty of things to it. So look at volume, look at form. Do we need more food if we're in a gaining phase? Do we need to bring overall volume down across the week? Do we need a deload? You know, these are all the things that I go through with clients. So just have a think if any of them have just light bulb gone off in your head. Oh my God, I've not had a deload for 12 weeks and other things are stalling. It might be that, or if you've got 3 sets of dumbbell press, try 2 and then they might progress. I'd rather you have 2 sets of dumbbell press progressing than 3 sets that are staying the same, right? And then we've got a nice simple one, which we'll finish on. Top tips for a successful gaining phase. So like I said before, start point is so important. That is the main thing, right? So make sure body fat is low, and then do not add food for the sake of it. I'll have clients all the time where I don't add food for 5 weeks, 6 weeks because scale is going up. I'll say to them, look, I know appetite might still be high, but we don't want to add unnecessary body fat. What is more food gonna do? Just add unnecessary body fat. If training's going up, if scale weight's going up, don't add food. You don't need it. Trust me, when it stalls, then yes, get food in, don't waste time. But start in a good position, push food when it is needed and don't waste time with it. Training, start that gaining phase with standardized form, log it, and then keep that form the same and try to pick up small wins. That is a rep up, a little bit of load there, a better 9 reps than the 9 reps the week before, better control, smoother reps. Take those little wins, progress that, eat more gradually, keep on top of everything, recover, make sure volume's managed, deload when you need to, keep on doing that. And like I said before with Phil, 72 kilo up to 86. That is just doing them, slowly ticking the boxes, being patient with everything and getting the job done. So massively appreciate them questions, some good ones there. Any that we want to know, like I said, I'm in Dubai for the next 4 weeks. I've got some very exciting things obviously coming up because I'm training at what is probably the best gym in the world. All my boys are absolutely smashing it. So make sure you follow me on Instagram because honestly, it is ridiculous some of the work getting done, and that's carrying on in Dubai. So if you are interested in coaching, nothing changes. We can go through everything, get you on board, get cracking, because the group I've got are out 10 out of 10, out of this world, absolutely nailing it. I absolutely love it. So fantastic. And there's videos coming weekly. There's going to be some training videos obviously out of Dubai, so I can't wait to just get there, get training, get food sorted. So let me know what you want to see about food, because obviously that's pretty interesting with what I'm going to be eating there. So full day of eating Dubai, my sessions in Dubai. Let me know what you want to see. And please like the video, please make sure you subscribe, so some big things are incoming. Let's get it. I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you in Dubai. Peace out.